Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4! We are playing as Italy. And Italy, this game is in an interesting position in that it's the first one that I played. We started pre-release when we didn't have a whole lot of info. And as a result, a lot of the early configuration was kind of questionable. However, we've still done very well. I mean, obviously we've got a lot of territory going on. Our allies haven't been quite as strong, although I think Japan's finally pushing back into China again, although they're now being reinforced by America. The USA and the Soviet Union are now at war with us. Technically, we're in 3 separate wars. This is a mini war against just the Soviet Union and Mongolia. This one here is against the Allies, and this one here is just against China. So there's it's kind of a little bit odd, although what's nice about this, the fact that the Chinese are not part of the Allies or the Comintern or anything like that, means that there's actually a chance that this could just resolve itself, you know, and peace could be achieved over here while we move on to something else. So that's the situation we're in. The German Reich hasn't done much, Japan hasn't done much, Italy's had to do a lot, which isn't great because we don't get the snowball quite as hard as some of the others. We're doing a little bit of construction here, we've got some naval bases, we're still a little bit stomped airwise in the north, although hopefully our static defenses will help with that a little bit. Mostly it's fighters that do the work for us, and we are producing fighters relatively quickly if we can. One of the things that I've put in a request for over at Paradox is to be able to toggle this by hitting like shift on one category and having that category just turn on and auto turn off everything else, because I've been playing a lot. I've played about 20 hours of Hearts of Iron since the last episode of this, and I've really been making use of these filters to help organize the production chains a lot better. It makes it so much easier, but I hate having to turn everything off manually and then turn the one I'm looking at on more, because I don't really see like when, okay, normally these are all on, right? What would be the point of just turning off, say, armored vehicles or whatever? I don't really see the point why you'd ever want to do that. But on the other hand, having everything off except armored vehicles is actually quite cool. We're still only making light tanks. Our industrial base we're not really in a position to make the move to medium tanks. That being said, I am going to be making a bit of a change over here. First of all, I'm going to preemptively set ourselves up to build more artillery, because we'll almost certainly need more in a bit. We're still shy in infantry equipment. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a change to our division organization. Now, you almost never, ever, ever want to ever do this while you're in the middle of a fight, because it is actually going to go and reset a lot of your troops. I don't know how long these guys have been sitting here. We do have a command, but maybe I'll just tell them to start the attack and we'll see. Because when you make a change to your divisions, you tend to lose experience, and maybe all your equipment won't be there. But what we're going to do is we're going to reset the divisions here to really be a combat width of only 20, because it'll let us stack a lot more. If you're commonly fighting with only 1 or 2 divisions in places, then having whatever combat width doesn't really matter so much. But because the typical combat width is 80, or you can potentially get more, you can get plus 20 or plus 20 or plus 20, depending on extra sides or whatever, but it's always multiples of 20, so we should really aim for that for better stacking. Also, we haven't really been making use of artillery. Also, we never finished. Wow, we still don't have all these support companies in this game. Just terrible. Anyway, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go and trim this down just a wee bit, and I'm going to actually put in some hard artillery divisions in my infantry. So hard artillery. Your combat width can be like 22 or something if you've got one of those offensive specialists that reduces your combat width by 10%. And we may have one, but I can't guarantee it. So I'm going to go and trim one more off here. And we're going to be at 19 combat width right now. I'm going to save this. We'll confirm that we have enough artillery to support this, because I don't know how many infantry divisions I have overall. I know that we need 60 total artillery to add this in. Well, that includes the support company. It would be nice if on this tooltip it would tell us how much this change would require in total, you know? So if I do this, because I checked, I have 7,000 artillery banked. Now, not all of it may be level 2. Actually, almost all of it is the improved artillery, the level 2 artillery, so that's pretty good. So, I have no idea if this will put us over limit. So I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to let that kind of reinforce. Do I have to reload this? No, there we go, 5,000. So we are still good, so I'll do it as a separate. I don't know if it's like worse on experience to do this in 2 separate chunks. No idea whatsoever. So we're going to replace that. So if you do have 7 divisions or 7 battalions of infantry plus 2 artillery, artillery has a combat width of 3, these guys have a 2, that comes out to 20, very nice. We will have to come back and add some more support over here. The other thing I'm going to want to do, and I'll have to wait until some research, oh, the level 3 is almost in here. Actually, that works out fine. That works out just fine. But the other thing I'm going to do, because I didn't quite realize how this worked, I'm like, where is the self-propelled artillery? And it turns out it's if you take this tank upgrade here. I thought it was going to change my tanks. I was a little bit confused. But no, self-propelled artillery is this tank base with a completely different gun, and it shows up as a different unit. So we're going to want self-propelled artillery added to our tank divisions. And that's right, we do have medium tank tech. Now, I still need some light tanks to reinforce what I've got, but if I may start changing over my tank divisions to just use medium tanks, in which case maybe I should start banking medium tanks. Well, I mean, regardless, I should start banking medium tanks. I'm just wondering if I want to halt the light tank. You know what? We're not really building light tanks as is. F it. Let's go and do that. Let's go... Are we in the cusp of getting another, like, a medium tank tech, though? Yeah, we could get the M16. And actually, no, we're on the cusp of the M2043. So I think if we're going to make the move to medium tanks, we'll wait until we've got that. So we'll see if we can't work our way down that chain over there. We'll also wait for the self-propelled artillery for the 1943 tanks as well. So we got that going on. What I didn't double check is, what am I doing with my Navy these days? I have no idea. Apparently we're in combat over here, which seems to be doing okay. We do have some people who are parked. Are you doing... See, this is what's a little confusing. I was just, like, do you actually have missions? Who's assigned to this? The destroyer fleet. And the people who are parked are called what? We got more people parked here. That is the destroyer fleet. So you still have a mission. Oh, there we go. I can mount... Okay, no, I misread that. You have a mission. You don't have a mission. Handful of destroyers parked over here. And... I think what I might do is throw down some convoy escort over here. So that's what your duty is going to be. There. There. I'm actually going to follow, like, we can see where some of my convoys are going. This might be a little too vulnerable. I'm going to go ahead and convoy escort there. Oh! These are not just... Hold on. Hold on. Halt everything. Right. This is just where my fleets are being built, which is why we've got sort of a bit of a derpy composition here. I'm going to split off the submarines. I'm still going to use the well, it's only one destroyer, isn't it? One destroyer's not going to do much. Now, do I want to send out the 3 submarines? Yeah, I might want to do that. Let's just do that. Right here. So I'll leave the destroyers for escorting later on. We want to do some convoy raiding, obviously. So where are we doing that right now? We don't have any... Well, the English Channel we may still want to avoid. But I think something like this for convoy raiding might not be a terrible idea. It's not the biggest fleet, but it can still get a lot of work done. We are... I believe we were banking political power over here so that we could finish off our military high command. I think that was our idea. Or I might be thinking my Japanese game, because there's actually some decent stuff here. It would actually be very nice to get the armored effort, because we're teching up there. I still don't know if we're going to be using much in the way of paratroopers for now, but there it is. Alright, and if we take a look at our total artillery, we do still have some left. So all of our infantry, I mean, we'll still be derped up a little bit. We'll have lost some experience points, but should be restructured like this. They may still have to wait for their delivery of artillery to arrive, so they're going to be a little less great than they could be for now, but they'll get there. This front line is still very awkward. In fact, I think these guys are going to have to get... You have an actual port. Right, I remember this now. We're going to have to split this front, because we're still probably going to want to push into the British Raj. So I think the Red Army here is going to get split into something that will focus on that. So we might get a little bit pushed back here. And our troops are a little bit reconfiguring here. So we may get some pushback until we get reorganized. Although we should get a stack wipe over here, which is going to be really nice. And it looks like we're still pushing a little bit here. Now, we've got some supply concern as well. Ah, we lost one of our aces. Well, I guess the other thing I should consider is, what are we doing flight-wise? Ile-de-France over here, actually, that's been trimmed down a bit. One of the things I want to make sure is to reconfigure these. I really wish you could type in a number here. We're going to try to use chunks of 100, so that if we do have aces, they can use their bonuses to the max advantage. So aces give bonuses. They're like at generals or admirals or whatever. They give bonuses to their wings. But if you have more than 100 in a group, then their bonus gets brought down, gets reduced. That being said, you are giving your bonus to more planes, so it sort of kind of works out. But if you can get more aces, like this may work out a little bit better. So we still are primarily on interception duty here to defend against bombers rather than shooting people down. I don't suppose I can get another wing going on, huh? I will do that, actually. I mean, obviously each wing's not going to reinforce fully, but it makes sure we can keep getting more people in this air zone. And the other thing I did request is the ability to select and give a mission to something while it's still being deployed. That would be really nice to do. Okay. These guys still running around. The Germans have failed to, like, deal with these guys properly. Listen, they have, like... They're not going to have any supply. So you should be able to trounce them. Alright, no weird naval invasions going on here, anything like that. We do have to worry. Like, we've got a huge amount of land in Africa to deal with. And that still sucks. What are we producing right now? We are producing these border guard units. I'll let it finish that one go. We have Infinity Marines on. I don't think we want that. I mean, we may end up wanting more than this, but I'll just get one dose of these Marines to be built. And then we might sit tight here. We were short on a lot of upgrades still. And I think that's actually one of the things light tank divisions are looking for, is more the upgrades than anything. I'm just going to make sure that everyone here is active. Not all of them are at full organization. Like, this tank is moving, but go ahead and just open more fronts over here. There we go. We'll just bop these guys. That'll be really good. Now, if you repel a Marine invasion, their armies, their divisions tend to survive. The army gets broken but tends to run away somewhere. If I bop these guys here, presumably they don't have any transports, so they were just stack wiped. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I'm kind of hoping. I'm actually going to tell these guys to join in the main front, except for you. Go ahead and finish walking through there. Also, all this attrition is going to go away, or going to be improved when we get this base up and running again. The one thing, though, to check out here might be to rush the infrastructure construction. Infrastructure does construct relatively quickly. The other thing that constructs quickly are air bases. Not that we have the planes to really support it. Air wing, did I not? Oh, it's because you have no dudes. So I can't give you a mission, but you'll still complain that you don't have a mission. That's weird. By splitting those into different wings, did I go and, like, ruin their ability to do stuff? Make sure you're on normal operations. That's just my guard division fighting, which is why it isn't doing too well. Low manpower. That is very true. Oh, maybe that's what I'd like to save up my political power for. Well, we're already on extensive conscription. Problem is, Italy, I mean, really, we only have this as a core. We don't have the manpower base to run an infinity war. We're not freaking Germany here. Alright, that got resolved. Good. So you guys are still not really pushing up, and you're still getting attritioned. I don't suppose, like, you can actually push there. Yeah, see, the AI is really conservative with these attacks. That should be okay, too. Hell, they're getting attritioned, which is nice. Alright, I'm going to split this group into two. So, the Middle Eastern attack. I'm going to delete all your orders and tell you to stop moving for a second. Thanks. Then, I'm going to grab you and split you off, and we'll give you a good general. Excellent. I'm going to give you a front line that is something like this. And an offensive line that involves pushing in here. And go. How's Afghanistan? What are they? No faction, no elections. We could consider coupping them or something. but I think we'll leave that off for now. Alright, then the rest of these guys. Who the hell is this? Get out of there. Okay. The rest of these guys are going to get a front line that is higher up here, and an offensive line. Alright, that just looks bad. Actually, just focus on taking that. Then everyone will get in position, and that'll be fine. You guys are going to get added in over here. And then we still have garrisons all over here, which I think is going to be relatively important. Alright. We'll let them get into position and then push. Again, there might be a little bit of push back for a second, but I think we'll get okay. France, you've got mostly just border guard units and a couple of tanks here and there just to help defend things, which is going to be fine. Just enough to respond. Is there anything else that we can, like, steal good units from? These are not my units or their colonial guards. Advanced artillery. So we've got level 3 artillery done. It is 43. I do want the better tanks, but I think it's probably worth finishing the artillery branch. Artillery is very, very, very strong. So we're going to switch you to producing level 3 artillery. And yeah, we'll keep this many things. Right now, our artillery divisions, it did say the need was filled. So we have the artillery we were looking for. So we aren't without artillery. We just are saying there's a need for the upgrades, and that's fine. We're actually quite satisfied with that. Okay. I wonder, at a risk of, like, giving up a little bit of territory. You guys are all attacking here. And actually winning, so. Wait for this battle to end. I sort of wish I could queue up a movement that's not a retreat. Come on. Win this. I'll leave the infantry behind. But the... Well, actually, not even the tank. I'm just going to take the Alpine divisions and move them up there. Because we could get a little bit of a cutoff here, which would be pretty good. Are you guys without orders? Oh, yeah. Maybe because the borders just got messed up here. But a lot of these red guys don't have an order. I'm going to do that. I was going to say, what that's going to do, it's going to F up this attack. Which is really annoying. Oh, looks like we did push through over there. We will get the cutoff here. And you got no organization. We'll get pushed back a little bit over there, but that's okay, because this should be a much bigger win. Naval combat. Sinking American convoys. Sinking British submarine. Losing Italian convoys to Soviet subs over here. Okay. Do we have, in our production queue, convoys being rebuilt? No, and we may end up needing more, so we'll get a little bit of a production queue that goes like that, and I'll put you near the top. There we go, and just toggle this like that. There we go. Keep building up convoys when you can. Sank a Russian sub. Okay. I'm tempted to just turn off the convoy notice, or just start ignoring it. Because it's not quite that critical. Still getting some supply issues over here, which shouldn't be a problem. Also, using tanks and mountains, not particularly good. But I think we've got, like, all the Alpine people down here. I hope so. Or here. The problem is, god damn, you need a lot of Alpine troops. I'm not going to rush these guys out. But, do we have people not in armies? We have some infantry division somewhere. Here, you can join in the push over here. I mean, I guess even if I didn't successfully push over here, and I am actually, I have advanced the front pretty considerably. As long as we're pushing over here, it's not too bad. It doesn't look like it's going super well. But hopefully Germany can get a little bit done. Meanwhile, we've gotten no alerts about amphibious invasions. If I take a look at the coast, I mean, it's easy to miss, but it seems to be okay. And Japan seems to have completely failed to push into China. God damn it, Japan. We could really use your help distracting the Soviets. Okay, this push is going extraordinarily well right now. That's great to see. The rest of our research. Field hospitals, more engineers, logistics companies. Logistic companies would be huge over here because we are having massive supply issues. Of course, it's winter as well, so pushing over here is going to be particularly rough. And then in the spring, it's going to be mud, which is potentially even worse to push in. Well, that's the reality. Hey, I didn't start that war. Come on, get in there. I mean, at this point, I could just wait, but I figure the longer they're there, the longer that the German AI is probably going to get messed up. So, how's our Air Force? Yeah, I don't know if something, like, dramatically changed, or if it was splitting into different wings, or what, but... Alright, at this point, you know what? I'm going to go and just trash that. I don't know if you know if these guys are doing anything. No, the Iran zone is still pretty important. Hell, if anything, this would be a good place to deploy whatever fighters we've got. Which ain't much. Can we assign it? Oh, we can assign an A0. No, they're all dead. Here. Any that get built can get deployed here. We'll get some air superiority bonus. I don't think we really need cover for our CAS or TAC bombers, but the air support bonus is still massive. And actually, the bombers don't really fly missions unless you've got air superiority, so the more the better. Again, I'd like to give a mission, but at least I'll get a pop-up. The one that's really annoying is, let's say I wanted my fighters over the Benelux region, right? And currently they were, say, in southern France. Or let's say they were here, and they were doing a fighter mission over northern France. And I tell them to move from here to some airbase here because I want them to fly over the Benelux region. As soon as I issue that move, I can no longer select the air wing, which means I can't cancel or change their existing mission. They still remember the northern France mission, so when they arrive over here, they will still be flying air superiority over northern France, even though I want them to go here. So it's like, it's compounding the problem. If you move an air wing, it should cancel any existing mission, because otherwise it will absolutely be doing the wrong thing. Alright, air superiority over here. And we'll just try to build up our fighter count to a critical mass before we send them back in the north. I mean, we do have 3 full production lines going on. And we do have all the resources that we need for this. I mean, we are short on some other things. You know, we don't actually have all our oil, but we really don't have anywhere to... Well, we could try importing from Venezuela. But actually, most of their stuff is already being exported somewhere else. German Reich, Japan was in there for a second too. Oh, actually, Japan, I think, just canceled theirs for whatever reason. Oh, yeah, actually, that's a pretty optimal number. So we'll see if we can get a little more. I mean, if we don't get enough, it's not the end of the world. It just means that we are not, we're not giving away our, what you call them, civilian factories. I'm going to see, once these tanks are done, see if I can't get them to do a attack over here. Is this all mountains? Yeah, it is. So you know what, this Alpine Division? Oh, you're in that battle too. God damn. What about you? There, you have a new job. You're gonna come down the coast over here and push like crazy to this city. What is this? Sind. But what's the actual city? Karachi. There we go. Push like crazy to Karachi. Get us some more supplies and whatnot. There we go. Logistics company is going to be huge for us. In fact, I'm really tempted to go for the level 2 right away. But I really do want to push our tank tech up. Although, we don't have the discount yet, and we're working on that. So, okay. Then get the level 2 logistics. And we are... Hopefully we've got a lot of supply equipment. We don't have a lot of support equipment. I mean, the sooner you get the logistics up, the sooner we start having problems with being out of supply. Which means we take less attrition, which means we need less equipment. I mean, it's 10% less supply. That's pretty stupendous. Well, it's supply usage minus 10% and supply use minus 0.10. I don't know why there's 2 in there. Most companies also reduce organization, and that's totally normal, but that's still a pretty big win. F it. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So, what does that do for our numbers over here? We're still currently okay. Okay, that didn't use as much supply equipment as I thought, so we should be able to. We should be safe to add it to our tanks as well. What's our combat width here? 24 is ridiculous. And we don't actually have enough motorized infantry right now. We have a big shortage there, so I'm going to go and trim down these divisions because they weren't full powered anyway. And now they're combat width 20, and their requirements are dramatically improved. And we will just confirm that we still have supply equipment, and we do. So, Alpine, you're always going to be in pretty weak sauce supply areas, so we're going to throw that down. And at this point, we don't have that much of anything else. I don't know if it's worth adding weight to the Marines. I mean, they're often going to be out of supply, but at the same time, they're often going to be taking ports, so they might not be too badly off. I think I'll hold off then. In which case, I guess that means my equipment here can just stay there. Because apparently we've got enough support. Not a ton, but we do. Alright, so that push isn't working too well. But that's okay. Now, speaking of Marines, where the hell are they? Do I have Marines? Oh, I got more border guards. You guys, I think, are going to be deployed in Africa. I mean, you might have MP units, I don't remember. Yeah, you're also MPs, which means you can go and babysit over here well. But actually, our babysitting status isn't terrible right now. So I'm not sure about north versus west. Tell you what, half of you guys are going to join. And there's South Africa here as well. I don't think this is as of a risk of invasion, although maybe. So I'm going to have half of you join Group 17. And, well, the group that had a size of 17, and oops, that's not how you select that. Nah. And you guys are going to join the North African garrison over there. Just making it more difficult for anyone to land. Yeah, these are lightweight troops, but they can still defend a pretty sizable invasion, which is nice. Okay, meanwhile, I do have 4 Marines, and I don't know why you can't click to filter this. That seems like a fault. I can filter here if they're called Marines, and they are. They are in this over here, which bizarrely has an infantry division. I'm going to move the infantry division off. You guys over here. Oh, yes, that's right. You took this territory. And you're just holding it for now, which ain't bad. But this is going to thin out this army a little bit, but that's okay. We're going to add a... I guess I'll add you to Soviet. That's fine. We'll give you a different color over here. Maybe green, because you're a green army. I don't think you need a general at all. But what you're going to have is you're going to garrison right here. And once you've arrived, we'll be able to start doing things with Marines as well. Well, do we want to garrison, or do we want to set a front line? And the game just crashed. Really? Because I canceled the North for garrison? Alright, well, when we come back, we'll reload from the most recent autosave, whatever that was. Poop. Thanks for watching.